If you have not subscribed to Alboa Cinema, this is where you will get everything. So subscribe. Ni wewe naongelesha. Subscribe.
We started journey 20 years ago. Oh yeah.
So nice.
Get every place where my heart broke. Alboa Cinema.
Happy New Year, tena. Yeah. This is chugging along quite fast. Tayari. Anyway, I hope you'll forget. There's a lot of noise, a lot of kids around, playing. Something happened, I think a couple of days ago, a day or so ago, Mark Zuckerberg released a statement that they were changing their policies on free expression to mean that when they were saying all the time that they do not curtail speech or expression on the platform, obviously it was a lie. I think for most of us who use Facebook, especially if you're argumentative, you've gotten a lot of strikes for some weird reasons. They don't really give the reasons per se. They just have these blanket terms, the whole bullying, harassment, but normally it's not that. And they had instituted many things that made the user experience on Facebook really horrible. At least that's been my experience. Like, I've not really, you have very little access to most of the people you follow or follow you, or even your friends. You have your whatever you post, they seem to be an algorithm that tends to suppress depending on the topic content. A lot of this was basically being seen through the eyes of Western progressivism, wokeism, nasikia. So he released a new state. He's been doing a lot of different things from what his type does. So I wanted first we listen to his video. So that tujue kwamba kama kuna kitu we can be excited about here or what. Yep. Just give me a second. I'm still working this thing of mine. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So let's see what this brings. I want to hear what he's saying. I'll give commentary as usual. There's a few other things that I'll be talking about as we are talking about talk about this, because it's important in business. Because a lot of us, myself, I use social media mainly for business. Yeah, there's the engagement part, but that's very secondary to me. So it's usually very risky for you to put your business on someone's platform when one comment to some weird person decided that the algorithm, the way it's been structured, decided that that's somehow hateful or whatever, or very arbitrarily by they'll do that. Then of course you might get your page banned or yourself, or you're throttled and all that. So it affects your business directly, and they don't care. There's no recourse. It is a lot. So let's listen and see whether it is say good things about the future of this year platform. By then you go ex munifo local Alboa Cinema verified. You see all that verification even on Facebook now. You can pay.
Hey everyone, I want to talk about something important today, because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more.
Yeah, this is something, by the way, he was very much for, especially during the COVID thing. He was very down for the censorship and all those weird standards they had set for everyone, which didn't really have any backing. And I think for most people who know, all this were really driven by the people who are selling their said product that's supposed to cure, or that particular product is if you speak about it this much streets, you get throttled. But you know what I mean. So when the beer bag was around, he was one of the leading people on the platform in terms of banning and censoring information that did not rhyme with what those people wanted. So this is a change of heart. So he seems to say the right things anyway.
A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legit.
But you knew this, Mark. You knew it was. But the thing is, Mark Zuckerberg is very smart. He's morphing. He's realized this censorship thing is not very popular. So he's morphing into now, at least he's realized majority of the world doesn't want to deal with a bunch of Western leftism ideas that they think that they're the ones who set the agenda for everything. You can't say anything wrong about this particular group, but they can talk all the nonsense they want about you. They can accuse you of anything and all that, but those ones are protected, sacred cows. That was what was going on. And anyway, he'll say it himself.
Legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation.
Yeah, those are the things you should have been banning. Not statements that somebody doesn't like feminists from the West. What are you talking about?
These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
It's because those are not actually mistakes. And I think there is, of course, he has to do the corporate talk, but this is the real thing. Those are not mistakes. Those are intentional strategies to throttle different ideas and people across the world. These were intentional. They knew, their back office knew, and they instilled these algorithm changes to make sure certain ideas were pushed, certain ideas were throttled. And who decided what ideas are not? Them. Basically, those people, San Francisco, California people. So that culture there is what they want everybody else to consume. Despite its obvious flaws that we've seen play out, especially in the last 10 years.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
I think this is the crux of it. You know, the fact that Donald Trump won so emphatically. He's a businessman. He's seeing already. I hear he's already donated $1 million for the inauguration. He's instituted other things. I'm going to show you that. I think there were new board members that were brought in who are not woke. Dana White of the UFC, and a few other people. So he's making conscious changes, realizing, hey, that election really did tell us exactly what people think of our ideas. And is being the prudent businessman by making the necessary change, because anyway, he's a survivor. He's worth I checked that $17.7 billion. I mean, you see, he's stinking rich. So is realized also, but you see a lot of this value is tied on in stocks, like for how Facebook Meta would be. So if that keeps dropping, his worth drops. I don't think he'll ever get broke or anything. It'll never happen. He's already passed that threshold by miles, and I think this product will stay. Whether or not it's leading or people actually enjoy being on it will be the other thing, because Elon is pushing really hard on this side for people to move there, and he's making serious gains. You can see he's the one who he actually basically endorsed Trump, pushed, spent money, did all this, and of course he bought X, as you know.
We're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policy.
Just remove the woke people from your back office, and this one is sorted. All those weird-haired, colored people who the identities, they wear them here all the time, they're not about the work. Lose those people and you see what happens. It's quick. They go away quick.
And restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US.
So, now, the thing is, to buy legitimacy, these guys set up this fact-checking, is it organization, or I don't know how to call it, but it's really, they are trying to say it's not part of us, but it's They're the ones who set it up, so that any information put here, they're the ones who fact check to make, in my opinion, to make sure it aligns with what they want, not that it's true or false. So the fact checkers are put in place as a PR move, so that when they ban someone, they say, no, the fact checkers say this, but the fact checkers, of course, they are the same woke people, so of course they are not fact checking anything. They're ideologically slanted, so definitely they are going to go the woke way. And this is one of those games they play that I really didn't appreciate, especially when you're trying to send lies across the world like that. Like, it's so insidious. I find that, as far as I'm concerned, these are important things that we must deal with now, and we'll continue to deal with them. But when the presidency said that at least you can say your thing, you can do, so long as you're not being a criminal, you can say your things, because I believe that good ideas will propagate, and they'll be, because they make sense and because they are logically based and all those things. Bad ideas will also propagate for a while, but after a while they don't work, people abandon them. And you have to give them that time for them to be abandoned. They'll be attacked, they'll be broken down, the people who espouse them will be mocked, and life goes on like that. Our own checks and balances, not depending on such a small group of people in the West, in a certain city or state, to decide what everyone in the world must consume and what they must think and how they must express themselves. It was extremely, that was one of the most corrupt things these people have ever done. But the language they use, you start to think, no, it was extremely corrupt. You're putting your thumb on the scale so much that so many lies pass through and so many lives have been destroyed. They don't even understand.
After Trump first got elected,
The fact checkers was a full sham. Full
in
scam.
2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy.
Yes, that is a language tactic. They start the narrative that misinformation, and by the way, they are decided, they're the ones who decide what misinformation, and they call the others malinformation. They have so many of these distinctions without none, and then they use that, using their own standards, which is propaganda, to say, it's a threat to democracy, or it's a threat to this, or a threat to your grandma because of it, they are sick. And they are driving up the temperatures specifically so that you can let go and say, okay, do this for me. And we've made that mistake so many times. Right now, there are so many people. There's such a small group of people who are deciding what everybody else must think and say, but they're not really for you. We can see that they're not really for you. It's until you question the ideology that you realize very quickly that it's not like that.
We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth.
But you decided to be the arbiters of truth by setting up all these fact checkers and whatnot.
But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
I mean, that's true. He's saying all the right things right now. That's true. But he was there while it was being instituted, and he was a big champion for them. Let's just not forget that.
So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system.
And then nilikuwa na kahoma kidogo, so nikisneeze hapa katikati.
Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
But you realize how much they've propagated that gender ideology across the world, because they allow those lunatics who are pushing it to have as much freedom, and they push them algorithmically so that you're going through your Facebook, instead of seeing your people you subscribe to, your friends, you're seeing all these weirdos and their silly ideas. Yes, they're propagated with millions of views. Try and criticize that stuff here, and you see you can be banned straight. I don't know how, especially that gender thing. Fireball.
What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinion.
Inclusivity is being used as a Trojan horse. It's not actually inclusivity. What they actually mean is that our ideas. We are inclusive of our ideas. Yours can't go away. I hope it wasn't too noisy.
And shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms.
Mark.
Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations.
That is what you should have done from the start. That is what those things are for. Not trying to install ideas in people's heads. Let people organically come across the ideas. That's what you're supposed to do. That is the right business model. But because you are such juggernauts, and primarily is because you had preferential treatment, even in Google App Store and all these things.
And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
That's simple. Personally, I never report. I ignore. Most of the time I ignore because I have very few people I've actually blocked. I don't think there are more than 5. But you see, a lot of these people is because somebody starts lying and spreading lies about you did a project, then they start lying. So because social media is so quick to jump on something before they have all the facts, it became detrimental to the brand. So about 5 people, I actually remember them so well. But those ones are legitimate as far as I'm concerned because they are detrimental to the brand with lies. Otherwise, everybody else I take on happily.
The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content.
Yeah.
The reality is that this is a trade.
Because now they just has a small one comment, and it's not even against it. It's just somebody's feelings or hurt. Why does a social media site with billions of people on it care? You cannot take care of everybody's emotional outbursts. Because what you end up doing is that you pick your preferred group and you favor them. You can't. It's a losing battle. About 2 billion people on the app. How can you cater to everybody's emotional outbursts? That's their own responsibility. Block someone, mute, do whatever you need to do. But don't want to mother hen who can now just protect us now. Ban these people, bad people. You woke people like doing that, these activist types. Oh, you're fighting for rights, except now everybody must be banned because they don't agree.
Right off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped...
No, just let people gravitate to what they want. Stop trying to show us what you think we want to see. Like, just let people post, let it propagate. Just like look out for the illegalities and abuse and those things. But stop telling us that you want to... It's because what is happy to you is not happy to me sometimes. Come on, can we stop with this engineering? You're trying to do the right thing, but at the same time, you also want to, whatever you're considering now, positive to go. No, we want the politics, we want the ugly also, because that's real life. We don't want a curated timeline that is lying to us about how actually things are in the world. Come on now.
Recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again.
Yes.
So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive.
What is friendly and positive? Okay, fine. There's a lot of cat videos, dog videos. Oh, this person saved this. Oh, this person met his mom after a long time. There are so many of those. They get millions, atrocious amount of views. There's enough positivity. That's like, let's just people do what they do. I love watching dog videos and cat videos also. And children giggling and playing around. It is good for the heart. We do that. If you go by there, like on YouTube, the most highly watched videos are those kinds of videos. So just let people do what they do,
Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
Oh, okay. They realize in California people are insane. There's too much leftism. There's no balance at all. You're in a town where even the businesses, the Hollywoods, all it's just the same ideology that must be propagated all through. It won't work because the world is extremely, as they say, diverse in terms of how we think. And even if there's a lot that we have in common, there's also very different ways that we express ourselves, how we say things. Because how we say things, maybe ukisema kitu in Kisii, it might sound very harsh, as opposed to say French. I'm just saying. But you might find that language sound more harsh. Some people from where they come from, we don't pussyfoot around things. Naambiwanga tu ukweli uende ulie huko nyuma. Those things must be allowed to propagate. The social engineering must be really reeled back. Because a lot of you are not that smart enough to do that kind of social engineering. You're destroying the world and you're destroying the people in it while you claim that's what you're trying to save. I also don't believe that you're doing it. You're just doing it ignorantly. You don't know. I know that you intentionally doing these things.
As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more.
Hey, Orange man, hatajaingia. Everybody just aligning like, hey, yo jika tulifanya. Hey. So the thing is, it's the message that has been sent by the majority of people. In fact, even worldwide, people are very happy that Donald Trump won. There's just this weird group of people who have derangement about the guy. There's nothing he would do that is worth, despite the fact that we've known him for, as in he's been in the public conscience for 30, 40 years. They pretend like he wasn't there before he ran for president. And so many people fell for it, so many stupid people, of course, who mainstream media is their main source of information. I just say that life. If you think, if you're, as I've said this before, if your main source of information is mainstream media, you're dumb. You're very dumb. You don't even know what is really going on. You've been propagandized to a point where you don't know what you don't know.
US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world.
That's true.
Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there.
I've seen, like in the UK, people being arrested over social media posts. Social media posts, you find 2-3 cops coming to another. We are trying to... I need to find at least one video for you guys. Think you think, let me show you UK social media arrest. It's even in the algorithm. I have to show you. Yeah, this is let's watch. Let's see which one. So arrested for social media post. This is a bit of a tangent, but I really need you to get this point. This one. This is one.
Okay. So,
What do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well, I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the Electronic Communications Network. I'm just
What?
127 of the Communications Act, okay? So you do not have to say anything that may harm your defence if you do not mention one question subject to later or in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're going
arrested?
to be arrested, okay?
Right,
Take
and
that to the police station.
Man, I'm sorry, I can't stand cops because there's the arrogance. You see, this person here has been sent to arrest someone over a social media post. So they have these words they use, that improper use of electronic communication, blah, blah, blah. It's contrived. Most people are not able to think themselves out of what something has been called. And that's usually the trick in it. Poverty eradication program. You think, oh, actually, I want to eradicate poverty. No, they don't. They just want funds to go that way, which they're the ones that adjudicate those funds. Come on, Shikilia. Let's watch
Right.
this one
Okay,
first.
this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
There it is. Like imagine a cop. This is the same thing your guy Ruto is trying to do. It doesn't work. You see, it's the West, yes, where there's free speech or there's, but you can see. Anyway, these people, they like World War II, you see, it's not, they're not really that special. They got out of it built, but you realize these tendencies are in everyone to try and use power to suppress, because they always talk about they care about the minorities and whatnot, so that they use that to pull such stunts. So they shut you up.
Okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Have you got anything in your pockets, Thomas?
I've got my keys. I got. No, that's about it. I think keys.
So,
Oh my God.
anyone who's been arrested, we can search them under Section 32 of the Basic Murder Act.
Right.
You see that now they've used that now. They have to search you. They start looking for other crimes. Like, you see, most people don't understand that when people complain about social media censorship, it's not just that. It's the implication of it. Other than the fact that you can't express yourself, you can't really think through your ideas, you can't do all these things, they're also using it to make sure no idea grows out of what is the government wants, which is usually what favors the government.
That's for dangerous items.
I mean, you.
Look at this guy, and such arrogance. Like, you were sent here, a good old man like you, to arrest someone over Facebook, and you are standing there so arrogant. You see, this is a problem. Like, I've seen a lot of these UK cops. Kwanzaa, they love this when they do all LGBTQ parades. They're there also, all of them with their rainbows. They'll do any. You see a grown-ass man walking out with his bolingo just hanging loose with the kids there. But they're there with these cops. But they're following a guy to his house over Facebook. Like, I really you guys need to think about how ridiculous this is.
What information? I'm going to be arrested for posting on Facebook.
Made some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that. And it's
Like, listen to that. You've made comments that were offensive and obscene. Who decides what's offensive and obscene? Kweni macho bwana. This is real.
And can you tell me what this comment?
I don't need to tell you, you can see. And that's why platforms like X, when they say that they don't want other governments also, you see, because other leaders from other governments, Zuckerberg pia amesema, they would put the thumb on the scale of this. If they don't want something to propagate locally where they are, they tell the social media company to kufinyilia, weka algorithm finyilia, so it doesn't, so that even if you post, either you are banned or it's shadow banned, all those.
in your name. Okay, well, we'll do that when we interview.
All right. And so, what am I going to be locked up for the night, or?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Right. Do I need to
Unless
take
you
my
film
medications
us.
with me?
Yes, we will look at taking all of those.
When do you need to take them?
Well,
But then there's a video I'm going to do. There's a huge case that's been going on about this grooming gangs of in UK. These cops totally, like, it's actually, there's evidence, a lot of evidence. So these cops ignored it. They actually protected the thing to go on. These are the people coming to arrest you. So that's how you know it's contrived. This Orwellian bullshit. You want the government even wants to know how you are thinking and why you are thinking and what you should think. This is what is going on here.
got pain medications. I've got sleeping medication. I've got anxiety medications, which I might take one of those in a bit.
Okay.
You know.
Well, if we take everything with us, then you've got everything there, haven't you?
And then
Okay.
we've got a nurse up there.
Jesus
They'll be
Christ,
able
what's
to-
happened to this guy?
Okay.
They'll be able to look
You
at
see,
policy.
I know for sure this person doesn't deserve to be on this role. I'm saying it. This is my DEI, my diversity, my inclusion. That's why it's people like this. If this person are real a thug chomokas of any thug, she can do nothing against him. Actually, there are videos like that showing this, see like women cops walking, and a drunk thief just removes himself and he runs away. They can't even chase the person. It's ridiculous. It is really supposed. Its entire purpose is to instill as much mediocrity to make people less competitive. And you must be aware to these things.
And then once you've been there, they can assess whether or not medication can be issued. All right. So what we're going to do is, you want to pop yourself up. We're just going
All right.
to
You need
search.
the glasses
Yeah, search you.
to come with you.
My glasses.
Yeah. Do you want to take them with you?
Oh my God. Tuendelee na Zuckerberg. So that was just a little interlude here to give you context about where these things usually go. Facebook post.
Latin America.
Karao wanakuja ku Facebook post. Si mmesema watu wanakuwa abducted your Facebook post, X posts, TikTok. Huwezi sema mtu akikukazia Joeva ako down hapa, amini anajua yeye ni muongo. They know that they are lying, they know they are corrupt, they know. So they must use all manner of ways to shut people up. So this move, as far as I'm concerned, by Facebook Zuckerberg, whether forced on, I think his hand was forced by the market, it still works for me. I hope that they actually banned me for comments. I'll show you. I'll show you shortly. But like they've banned me for a month over comments. You know, like I don't take things lying down. If you come for me, I come for you right back. Just because I can insult better than it means that you get to ban me. Let's end there. If you come there with your snickering and your sneering and your stupid ideas, we fireball immediately. If you can't take it, block me instead of going at your algorithmic. You're trying to get the algorithm to favor your stupidity. Nonsense.
Countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can
The Chinese don't fuck around.
push back on this global trend is with the support.
And also the thing is, I think they do it mainly so they can have their apps to propagate. They are more than this. The Facebooks and they have their own. So I'm thinking it's some level of protectionism, you know, business-wise. So they use all these other ideological things. China is the same. You know, this is other US thing. They use those things to try and finyilia. But, you know, we have to be aware of this and just not be blind that this particular person does it. Everybody does it. This time it was really the left-wingers. But I remember when the religious people were the woke ones, wanting to ban everything. Oh, we don't want that. Now you're showing too much leg. Video games are causing violence. Music, they are putting songs backwards to send the message of the devil. You don't remember those things, people.
Of the US
So be careful. It's just, it's in the end, you know, everybody has the propensity to do this if they have the power.
government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other
They banned, remember, he was president and they banned Trump from all social media. Hata hapa. Na huyu jamaa alimrudishanga, but Trump had already started this thing. You see, that's what sometimes it calls for. Like, you're banned somewhere and you just start your own, but you see, he was in a different state. Oh, Kianza, it's a different game. Might take longer, mostly won't work. Because a lot of this, there are a lot of social media websites, in case you didn't know. Many. But most really don't work because the giants have taken everything. That's just the way it is. So, and I don't believe that in any case such a lot of this kind of product will work like zikwe mingi, because the attention is, you know, you have your own 4 or 5 different apps trying to engage at the same time. For me, I do it because I put content everywhere, because that's a business concern. But if you're just a person, you just, maybe you'll be on 2, Facebook and X, maybe you'll be on Instagram and Facebook, and you just scroll, look at us and twerking, and look at cars and the things you want. You know, some of you listen to something important, but you know, most people don't.
For American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further.
Yes.
But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it. It'll take time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove.
Concentrate on
But
that.
the bottom line,
Stop trying to find out what I'm thinking and how I should express it. No, just concentrate on the illegal stuff. There's a lot of it. There are a lot of degenerates on this internet, my friend. Hey. Yeah, follow that, Zuckerberg.
is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
Okay, Mark. Let's see what the people are saying down here. The people, them. What are they saying? Cindy Rich. While you're at it, get rid of the ads. Oh my God, the ad experience on Facebook. Oh. You can't really, you see the mainstream experience of you have to watch an ad to the end. That's why people have choices. If you start like, I guess the compromise is like on YouTube, you get 5 seconds and you can skip. I think that's a good compromise. That don't make me watch 2 minutes or 1 minute. Come on now. A lot of the ads we don't care about. In fact, you should be using your algorithm to tailor ads better to people's tastes, other than looking for, did you say misogyny? No, do that. That's what the power of that kind of AI can do. Not social engineering. Okay, yeah, that is all I see on my page. Nothing from friends, ads. Yeah, kwanza that thing, you just have so many few of the people you actually follow on. Facebook is getting so bad that a lot of people are leaving. We joined so that we could keep in touch with friends. But since that says it impossible anymore, it's a waste of time. In the past month, I have had to block at least 600 pages that I have no interest in and still don't see posts from anyone I know. This is ridiculous. I think this is really the crux of it. And then there's kuna mjinga hapa eti how would FB be funded if there were no ads? Would you be prepared to pay a subscription? It's not charity. Like the ads can be there. Like these people, the arrogance. I know this is one of those Zuckerberg woke people who are trying. No, she's saying she's the customer, idiot. She's the customer. She's saying the user experience is bad. That's it. Haya, say anything ya muhimu hapa, acha tuendelee. Huyo that comment, Facebook is heading the way of other antiquated and outdated services. It's not. There are 2 billion people on it. Come on. Guys, and stop fact checking the truth and remove them, sir. Yes, this is the main thing. Let me show you how you see, like now I can't use it, so I clicked like there, then it will remove it and then bring. You can't post the things you can't do right now. What happened? Can't post. Okay, so let's see why. Let's see why. We added restriction to your account, which means everything you can do. That bullying and harassment. Let's see all. From February 2024. Like it's like a prefect. Bullying harassment. Hateful conduct. Bullying harassment. These are just nonsense. Let me show you one here. See, kama nikona bully and harass. So hapa huyo ndio anaitwa huyu ni Max Karaja, nilichapa yeye hapa kat. Dude, you are just a jilt, like you are a jilted hell. I didn't pay. He was being an idiot, so I came. I have absolutely no appetite to seek your approval. Yeah, he was looking to tell me like whatever. So alikuja vibaya, so he doesn't know I'm a beast kwa hii kazi. Jeez, what happened to you soft ass emotional? Sorry, X is for men. Yeah. This virtue signal. So comment kama hii inafanya nibaniwe. And the worst thing, they don't really show what the other people are writing, because this didn't come from nowhere. We are on an exchange. The algorithm helped him out. Otherwise, nikechapa baya sana. Comment removed. Are you? So huyu alikuwa analitukana huyu Joan. This is a woke westerner. You're a stupid as fuck, pretentious western woke trash. You're using your kids to experiment in your degenerate lifestyle. What a bunch of child groomers. That's what I said. So they're actually defending this transgenderism, and this one was saying it's okay for a young person to be given those hormones. They can cut off their ogufuaf if they want. All those things. Fireball. So these are the kind of things that the algorithm is leaning towards the war. So I'm hoping that he's removing that. No, Napa Zuckerberg has been doing MMA. No, Napa kona champes back always. So he's really improving his the quantity of testosterone in his body. By the way, I was seeing some other thing, like some of these Western men, like they have the testosterone of like old men. It's ridiculous. Below, like just above women, just a bit. That's why you see all of them at work, especially these work ones. They're always so fruity. So anyway, I really wanted to respond to this because it's important. We all use social media, and you need to understand what is really important with this kind of technologies. I know some of you know, but mostly for business and, you know, having ideas flow and arguments flow so that we can try and get to the truth, or at least have a general understanding of what is going on. You can't censor some ideas and let others flourish because somehow they hurt your sensibilities. That's weak. If you can't do that, just get off the site. It's not a must. It's not a primary need for any human being. You know, especially if you don't do business. Social media is important for business. Hiyo ni lazima. But kama you're just a normal person, don't come here and reinforce an experience because you've gotten stuck in some ideology. Now you think that you are the little god of ideas. Otherwise, what do you all think about this video? By the way, I'm trying to get to 1,000. Sasa niko na kama 910 subscribers. 1,000. Ikamu haraka. Also follow me over there on X, Alboa Cinema, and uko TikTok Alboa Cinema 254, Instagram Alboa Cinema, niko kila pahali. We are serious. In fact, I'm even on LinkedIn, Albert Nyakundi. But as I said, I don't care about LinkedIn so much.